Yo.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of the Homeless Ashes mini marathon. Yeah! We're keeping this train rolling. As everybody, if you heard last night's episode, you will know that we are doing this all week. We're talking about Homeless Ashes, the Marc Zammits passion project of a good 4.5 to 5 years. The movie he always wanted to make, and the movie he busted his hump to get made, crowdfunded this thing right the way through, block by block by block. Which, by the way, if you know anything about crowdfunding is not easy, but Mark found a way to make it work for his movie. It helps that he has a massive social media presence and he knows how to use that and utilise what he's got at his disposal. The man has worked to get this movie made, and guess what? It's all but done. It is done. They did the final edit. There was a couple of pictures went out at the weekend. They'd finished the final edit, which is absolutely superb. We are going down on May the 4th, which is this coming Saturday, to see the movie down to London, the big land in town. We're going down there to see the movie. We cannot wait to see it. But this is 365 Flicks Podcast. I am Kevin Halden, and I'm kind of flying solo a little bit on some of these interviews, just because timing restrictions and trying to get things sorted and we needed to get people on and get it done. And tonight, boy, do I have a good one. This is Hector Bateman. Hector he's a child star. He's a young actor. He's phenomenal, by the way. Just like I've seen the little clips of him from Homeless Ashes. He looks great, and of course everybody we've spoken to about this movie does nothing but rave about him. I saw him recently in Holmes and Watson movie, the Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly movie. I mean, it's worth at least watching. And he plays young Sherlock Holmes in the movie, so that was cool. That was well cool seeing like somebody that I have now interviewed and somebody that I'm about to watch another massive big movie, a passion project of somebody we've interviewed numerous times and we absolutely love having on the show. Yeah, he was in that. He was in an episode of the TV series Endeavour, which is sort of like a spin-off of Inspector Morse. Yeah, it was Inspector Morse. It's like a spin-off of that kind of thing. So, there's another big string to his bow, and upcoming 4 Weddings and a Funeral TV show, which we talked to Hector about. They made a TV series out of that. There's a lot of this like TV series getting made out of movies, and sometimes it could be hit and miss. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this, because 4 Weddings was a massive project back in the 90s. Huge film. I remember growing up with it. You had the Marty Pello Wet 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 song that just didn't ever go anywhere for months and months and months. If you lived it, you remember. So yeah, he was a little bit nervous before he came on, but I've got to be completely honest with you, as I was completely honest with him as well. I was probably a little bit more nervous than he was, if you can believe that. Like, it was cool. It was absolutely cool. I got to talk Star Wars. I got to talk a little bit about Avengers, about, things that my daughters don't ever like to talk about. And it was great sort of like getting his experience, because the movie Homeless Ashes does have some some darker. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. It has some darker story tones to it. It's about homelessness, something that is very much out there, and a lot of people just bury their head and forget about it. And there's domestic abuse in there, domestic violence in there, in the household, in the family, and not easy topics to go in on. If for any movie, let alone independent. But Mark loved what was written, loved the script, loved everything about it. And when you're going to do that stuff, you've got to do that stuff. So you just go for it. You just go for it. Again, we are going down to see the movie. We're going to be promoting it all week on the podcast. We've got some more interviews coming up. We spoke to Dean Maskell last night. We've got Hector tonight. We've got one of the producers, David Friedman, coming up in the next one. Not going to spoil any more, though, because, you're going to love some of these. This was an absolute pleasure, this episode. If you like this episode, please check out Hector's work. Check out some of the things he's done. Keep an eye out for him in the future, because he's going to go far. Everybody's singing his absolute praises from the rooftop. And quite a down-to-earth young man as well when it comes to it. And it could be easy. I mean, I know if it was me, I'd be fully rubbing it in people's faces. But this kid seems to have it wired, and he was an absolute pleasure to talk to. So, I'm going to just let the episode do the talking. Don't forget, 365 Flicks Podcast, iTunes, all those different places you can find us, the networks you can find us on, Danger Entertainment, Tangible Network, all those networks. Find us, rate us, review us, give us a 5 stars. Leave us a comment. Even if it's a nasty comment, leave us a nasty comment, but give us the 5 stars, and we won't take the comment on board. Thank you very much. This is Hector Bateman.
When the only company you keep is an old fool, then perhaps a journey home is exactly what you should be doing. You're lucky enough to have a home to go to.
So, tonight, on the second part of the Homeless Ashes mini-marathon, because obviously Chris and I are going down to London on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, to watch the Homeless Ashes premiere, which is awesome. But tonight I have young Hector, who is the leading star, Young Frankie, of the movie, and he is here to talk to me about his part in the movie tonight. How are you tonight, Hector?
I am brilliant, thank you. How are you?
That is the nicest possible, politest way I've been spoken to on this podcast. But so I'm not going to keep you too long, because I know you're on a little bit of a filming break, so I don't want to take up too much of you. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Plus, I'm sure you've got plenty of cool things you'd rather be doing than sitting talking to me. So, serious question first.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be a deal breaker as to whether or not this conversation goes any further. How excited are you for Star Wars?
I am super excited. I am counting the minutes until we can see the film. I knew Emperor Palpatine would be in it from the laugh at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
But the question is Skywalker Rey or Kylo Ren? Or is one of his students alive?
Well, I hope all three of those are right. I really do. I mean, for me, I think it's going to be Kylo. I think Kylo's going to be the Skywalker.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he's Skywalker. I think he's more experienced with the Force, and given he was trained as well.
Exactly. Plus, he's just way more better. He's better than Rey. Rey's all right, but I prefer Kylo.
Yes, she's a good character, but I think Kylo Ren's the best one.
Oh,
he's my favourite character.
And were you excited and happy to see that he's fixing his helmet?
I am, yes, because I think the helmet is probably one of the things I like about Kylo Ren the most, actually.
Yeah,
His helmet.
definitely. Although
It's got a really cool helmet.
I still don't understand why it changes his voice though, because there's nothing wrong with his voice. But okay.
Yeah. I think maybe at the start to give it a bit more. Who is this?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And by the way, cool little side note. Just want to show you this.
Yeah.
A signed picture from the Darth Vader. Yeah. I met him.
Wow.
I met him at a Comic-Con. The man within the suit, Mr. David Prowse. I met him at Comic-Con a couple of years ago.
That is. Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I've always wanted to go to the Star Wars Comic-Con, actually.
Oh, you need to go. You need to go. You would absolutely love it. You would love it. But I mean, there's plenty more Star Wars to come over the next few years, so you never know. Could get yourself in one.
Ooh, hopefully, yeah.
So,
Hopefully I'll be holding a lightsaber once.
but yeah, so my other important question. Now, there are two types of people in this world. There are DC fanboys and there are Marvel fanboys.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself?
I think I see myself in Marvel because I think the movies have more light and darkness contrast. And Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth have some really funny lines.
Yeah.
Although, then again, there are some sad scenes when they turn to dust. That's pretty sad.
Yeah,
but otherwise...
but we know they're coming back. It's all going to be good.
Yes. Well, hopefully they'll come back.
Are you looking forward to Endgame?
I am, yes. Hopefully we're going to see it at the weekend.
Nice.
And I'll be thinking, they can't have killed Spider-Man.
My the other guy who does the podcast with me, Chris, is a huge Spider-Man fan. So literally, when we were in the cinema watching Infinity Wars and that scene happened, I don't know if you've ever seen a grown man cry, but I had one sat next to me.
I haven't actually, no. I probably would have done the same, actually. Seeing the Wasp go at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, that was a bit... Oh,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
It'll be alright. Everything will come
Yeah,
good.
it will come back.
Yeah. But you're not a DC fan at all, or?
No, I just... Yeah.
See,
I just like how Marvel Ted scene punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So, why don't you make my job easier? I'm pretty old and I have a bit of memory loss. So why don't you make my job a little bit easier and let all our lovely listeners know who you are and how you got into this acting game at your age?
So I was watching the bonus features on Star Wars when I was about 5 or 6 maybe, and I thought it would be cool to behind the scenes and acting. So I asked my mum if I could do it, and then she said, okay. So I took some acting classes, got an agent, and then I started. It was extremely fun.
You make it sound very easy as well.
I wouldn't go that far. I think it was pretty hard to find the agent in the first place.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And how do your friends look at you when they see that you're being in these movies? And I bet they're really jealous.
Well, I don't really talk about it that much, actually. I mainly just go outside or play games with them. I try to avoid that whole conversation.
Nice, very nice. That's yes, I like that. See, me, I'd be rubbing it in their faces. That's the sort of person I am. I'd be like, look, I'm in movies and you're not, so there you go.
Maybe if I get to be in Star Wars, I might say a bit.
Oh yeah, I was in Star Wars. You better pick me first for your team, so there you go. So, we are going to get into Homeless Ashes in a little bit because that's kind of what we're here to talk about, and that's a movie that we're all very excited to see. But
Yes.
I mentioned a minute ago that you're on a little bit of a break. Can you tell us anything about the project that you're working on right now?
Not that much without giving the story away, I'm afraid.
No, obviously not.
So, I am filming the new MGM TV series, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which has been written by Mindy Kaling and a few others. And Richard Curtis has been involved.
Oh,
I play a series...
I didn't realise Richard Curtis was still involved. That's great.
He is. he was at the read-through, I think, at the beginning, at least.
That's a screenwriting legend right there.
Yes, I was a bit... Hello, Mr. Curtis.
I'd have been exactly the same. I mean, even me being 34, I'd have been like, oh my. Because when I was growing up, obviously, Four Weddings and a Funeral in the 90s was a massive, massive movie.
Mm.
So that must be...
I watched it, but I did skip the very naughty bits.
So the opening sequence you couldn't watch.
Yes, basically.
No, that is absolutely brilliant, and we're not gonna press you too much on that because we know it's a new thing, and we don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that.
Okay.
But apart from meeting Richard Curtis, how was your experience on the show?
It's just been an amazing 6 months. I've had the best time, and I am so lucky. My agent David is awesome, and he's made sure everything happens super smoothly and there's no stresses with it. The cast are so lovely, a wonderful mix of people. So we've got Hollywood actors, BAFTA nominees, fingers crossed for them, massive TV stars, and Olivier winners. And they've all been really nice, and I've managed to learn quite a lot from them, and I've enjoyed hanging out with them. The directors are amazing, the DOPs, just the whole crew really have been really nice and loving. And the writers are Mindy Kaling and Richard Curtis. Well, yeah. The writers from America have been on set quite a lot, actually. Imagine being able to work with Mindy Kaling and Tracy Wigfield. Wow.
I mean, Mindy Kaling right now is extremely, extremely popular and doing really well.
She is. She's actually really nice. She's really lovely. I think she was one of the nicest people I've met, actually.
Oh, well, now you've met me, so you can change that.
Yeah. And the costumes are awesome. The costume designer is Salvador Perez. They've all been so beautiful, and I've had some really nice suits.
Nice. Oh, suits. I like the sound of that.
Yes. I had a top hat on, actually. That was pretty...
Never wore a top hat. I might wear one to the premiere. So, on that, there is a very exciting premiere coming up.
There is.
On a very exciting day, like I said before, it's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Makes it even more special in my eyes.
It does.
What can you tell us about how you became involved in Homeless Ashes, working with Mr. Marc Zammits?
So, my mum saw the casting for Frankie and thought it sounded just like my style. So, Mark asked me to do a scene from E.T., where Elliot gets E.T. taken away from him as crime involved, so I loved it. And he asked if it was real tears, and I said yes. So then we met up for a coffee. I said, look, I know I'm a bit young for Frankie, but I think the film is really good and I would love to be part of it. He said, okay, and luckily I was casted.
Now, Mark has actually told me on a previous episode when I had him on as a guest, he actually told me about these real tears of yours while filming, doing some of these intense scenes, and he basically said you wouldn't believe how quickly he could just turn it on and just deliver, and it's great to hear, and it's nice to hear that you said that's how you got the part as well, because E.T. is amazing.
It is. It's just under Star Wars in my favourite films, I think.
So there's some really intense scenes in the movie. There's some quite dark moments. I spoke to Dean Maskell, who plays your father in the movie, on Sunday night. Again, another man who couldn't sing your praises enough. And he was telling me how some of the scenes were really hard for him to do. And I was just wondering, for yourself, being a young actor and everything, and these darker scenes, how did you mentally prepare yourself for those scenes?
So, Mark arranged for us to meet in London before filming to get to know each other. And he made us do some games where it was me and Angela against Dean. So then he kind of made us form a little gang against the baddie, Stuart, which was actually quite a good idea.
It is when you think about it, yeah.
Yeah. On the actual day, there was a stunt trainer there to coach me, and it all felt very safe. I could go into a quiet room and start getting into Frankie, thinking about what he had to go through and just how awful and sad it must be. I suppose I used the Stanislavski method for it, which is where you imagine yourself being in his life.
But was it like in between takes and everything? Did you have to sort of keep yourself in that mode, or did you come out of it and go and mess about with Angela or Mark, or like what did you do to sort of, I don't know, keep the scenes feeling the way they were meant to?
My mum was there the whole time, and in between takes, I would have a cuddle, a drink of water, and watch something maybe. And then, so once we did that, I'll go and maybe have a cuddle with Angela, Dean, and Mark and talk about it. They always made sure I was okay. There was a room I could go into and play or something, and if the others were doing an angry scene, I would never be on set to hear it, so that was nice. But so sometimes I go outside and just be me. So on the heavier days, I don't really stay in Frankie, but sometimes in the scenes that aren't that heavy, I do stay in him.
Right. That's to be able to take yourself out of it though, is a tremendous little skill to have, because you know when you see a lot of actors and all that, they go on about how they have to stay in that moment, otherwise they lose it. But for you to be able to go in and out is fantastic. It's a tremendous little skill.
Oh, thank you.
What was sort of one of your fondest memories of being on Homeless Ashes? Because you got to meet a lot of amazing cast. And I've saw some of the behind-the-scenes photos, you with Jason Fleming, Terry Malloy, you met some cool people on that shoot. What was sort of your favourite memory?
That is a hard one. Probably one of the scenes I did with Temple or Jason Fleming. He made me a fish finger sandwich for lunch, which was delicious.
Was that in the big Winnebago thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were filming in Carter's Steam Fair, which just looked beautiful on screen.
Yeah, it does look great. I mean, I've seen the behind-the-scenes photos, and I can't believe Mark has taken a movie with almost no budget. He's crowdfunded every step of the way. It's taken him 4.5 years. It's a massive passion project.
It is.
From the pictures and the stills and the short little bits that I've seen, it looks incredible. You must be super proud of this movie. I
am very proud of it. I am just so pleased for Mark that it's finally becoming real. He's done so much for it, and he's just done so much for it and worked so hard to get it there. It's amazing to see so much support for it. It'll always be a special to me. It's a very important film for me, yeah.
It's a very important as well, the subjects that it touches on. So you seem to have a lot of admiration for Mark. So as a director, and I guess as a little bit of a friend now as well, because you've bonded really well on set. So how is your relationship with Mark?
I think it was basically like a brother to me. He would always support me, and if there was something I was a bit about, we would just talk about it. He was just lovely, and I'm really proud that he let me be able to show Frankie to the audience.
I can't wait to see your performances, Frankie. I really can't.
Thank you.
After speaking to you, I want to see it even more now. But thankfully, I will be seeing it very soon. I mean, I know there's a lot of age-appropriate stuff in the movie. Will you be attending the premiere, or?
And sadly, I can't make May the 4th. I am very disappointed that I can't see everyone. Although I have seen a few of the scenes from doing ADR and the things Mark let me see. But otherwise, I can't really see it. And I know I can't see it until I'm much older, sadly.
I bet you can't wait, though.
I can't. I really can't.
Oh, that would that would upset me as well, not being able to watch it after, because it's been a long time in the making, and I'm guessing you. To be fair, you've grown up quite a bit since you filmed it as well. So it's.
I have actually, yes.
Even Dean said that.
I look a bit different.
Dean, when I spoke to him on Sunday night, was like, he's like, it's incredible because we filmed it, and he's like, and all of a sudden Hector sprouted up, and he'll be massive now. But
I'm probably about 10 centimetres taller.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hector. Like I said, I don't want to take up overly much of your time.
Okay.
I know we've got things to do, so I'm going to start wrapping it up there. But
Okay.
before I do you have, apart from obviously Four Weddings and a Funeral, the TV show and stuff, is there anything else that you're working on, or anything else that people can see you in?
No, nothing. I'm just going to do some more castings now.
Excellent. You keep working. You keep plugging away at it.
Thanks.
And I guarantee when that Star Wars Rebels TV show comes along, Ezra Bridger's got your name on it.
Like, he's probably been my favourite character in the whole series.
You've
Or the Inquisitor.
You've absolutely made my day, because Ezra Bridger is by far the best character in the Star Wars universe.
He is.
I absolutely love him.
Apart from Kylo Ren, though.
Well, yeah, Kylo's good as well, but Ezra's cool.
Kylo Ren's the best bad guy.
Yep.
Or soon to be good guy.
Hopefully.
And Ezra is the best good guy.
How would you feel if in if in Star Wars there's a big flip where it turns out Rey's the baddie and Kylo's the goodie? How would you feel about that?
I probably... One side would be happy because Kylo Ren is good.
Yep.
One side would be a bit... Oh, I thought Rey was good, and I thought she was a really good character. I thought, oh, that's a shame.
And on that note, Hector, I thank you so much for coming on. This has been
thank you.
fantastic. This has been an absolute joy. I won't lie to you.
has.
I was very nervous to start off with, but you eased me into the conversation, and everything was great.
Thank you for your time, and I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you very much. And is there anything you would like to say to our 365 fans before you leave, or?
Well, I hope you love the film.
I'm sure we will. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, is this on? Yes, can you hear me? Yes, as we rehearsed, Scarlett. Right. Hello, this is Ruby. And Scarlett. The real stars of 365 Flicks podcast, inviting you to listen to our Yankee friends, the History of Bad Ideas podcast, or as we affectionately call them, Hobie. Yes, it was really funny. I love the news, opinions, and silly games. And their smash hit, the top 5 list that only a Hobie listener could admire. Hold on, sister. Why are we promoting Hobie? Father says listening to them rots our brains and they speak bad American English. Good question. Don't tell Father, but Jeff said we could have all the leftover glitter from Neil's visit over at Dark Angels and Pretty Feet. Oh, lovely. And Blake said he'd bribe us with IOUs. How much in pounds is that? I don't know, but he said it was worth more than Michael Leal's Canadian money. We'll be rich! And Jason said we would get to watch the world burn. How exciting! Let's continue the History of Bad Ideas, the official podcast of the Cincinnati Comic Expo. Look for them on iTunes, Stitcher, Tangent Bound Network, Lipson, Geek Life Radio. Also look for them on Facebook and Twitter at badideaspodcast.com. Remember, the history of bad ideas. Almost as good as being Scottish. Cheeky review. Takeaway scare. Don't forget to wear a coat.
No children were harmed during the recording of this History of Bad Ideas promo.
I'm just going to say it. Stanislavski's approach, I have no idea what that means. I have subsequently Googled it and read about it to figure out what the young man was on about. And yeah, that is some serious stuff to be referencing. So yeah, Hector's awesome. I love talking to Hector. So yeah, Homeless Ashes, keep an eye out for it. You can still go on the Indiegogo. There is an Indiegogo campaign, because although the movie is done, the movie is in the can, it's edited, they've done all the ADR and whatnot. Even though it's all done, you can still go and you can still donate to this film, because they've got the rest of the stuff to do, you know, like they've got to take it to the festivals, they've got to take it to Cannes, they've got to take it to all these different festivals out there, and those things, you need submission money. So please, just, if you can give a little bit, I'm not begging you or anything like that, but if you can give a little bit, go over to the page, give it a couple of pounds, you know. It's important, it needs to be seen, and I know fine well it's going to be absolutely tremendous movie. I'm looking forward to watching this. It just looks gorgeous. So please do that. Get yourself onto Indiegogo, look for Homeless Ashes the movie, or look at all the social media pages, the Facebook, the Twitter, or anything like that. Give whatever you can, and while you're at it, have a look out for Hector. Have a look out for Hector's work. He's on Facebook, he's on the Twitter, and just give him a shout and just say, hey man, looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. You know, it's what it's all about. Let's get this kid an amazing start to his career. I mean, he's already had a good start, but let's just get him going. And Hector, I hope to see amazing things from you in the future. I genuinely think I'm going to, and I look forward to. You're not going to be at the premiere. He's not going to be at the premiere because obviously he's a young lad, and the movie is what it's about. But I look forward to seeing him. I look forward to meeting him in the future and meeting him down the line. And maybe one day he can turn around and say, when he's massively famous in like some Star Wars movie or something like that, he can turn around and say, yeah, 365 Flicks, I remember those guys. Yeah. Whatever happened to them? Yeah, so I'm going to let it go. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Hector. You were absolutely amazing. Tomorrow night's episode, producer David Friedman. Very, very, very nice guy. So yeah, listen out for that one.